Hey all, welcome to Parker's Reefs. On today's episode, I'm not just wearing my retro Newcastle Knights jersey for the fun of it, it's because we're starting the series covering the PetQuarters stores throughout all of Newcastle. Alright, so yeah, as I described, I'm not just wearing my Henny Penny sponsored Newcastle Knights jersey for the fun of it. It's because we're doing a Newcastle themed series covering across the stores, the PetQuarters stores in particular throughout Newcastle. And the reason why I wanted to do this, one, I went there recently to host an event called Fragstock Newcastle, which was a really big success. I've got some footage and some pictures and stuff from that event, which hopefully I'll be able to put together as a separate video. We'll see how we go because I ended up having too much fun socializing and looking at all the cool frags and not enough time spent taking videos. So we'll see if I've got enough footage to make a video there. But I also wanted to show you it's just some of the place of Newcastle itself. The town or the city is an incredible place to holiday. They've got some beautiful beaches, some incredible sights. It's just a really outdoor themed city in that they've got some beautiful mountain bike trails, some beautiful bushwalks, some incredible coastline, and some really, if you're into sort of like Art Deco style architecture, some of the buildings in Newcastle and surroundings are just unbelievable as well. So if you're a bit like me and you start looking for family vacations where you can sneak in a couple of cheeky little fish shops on the way, then Newcastle could be for you because there are 6 PetQuarters stores throughout Newcastle. And whilst they're not just aquariums, they're pet stores, full-blown pet stores. Their aquarium departments are really serious aquarium departments, and each of them feature really heavily in the marine sections, and hence why we're going to do a video on them now. So sit back and enjoy while we jump into the first video, which is PetQuarters Broadmeadows. Alright, here we are out the front of PetQuarters Broadmeadows, and you can see that there's no mistaking this for a pet store when you walk in, and you can even see a dedicated sign showing that they've got an aquarium, marine and freshwater section. I love that because if I didn't know better, I'd see the big PetQuarters sign out the front, and I'd assume it was a bit like a pet barn or something like that, where they've got a little bit of a freshwater section and no marine, and not even really any marine dry goods. So it tells you straight away that these guys are serious about their aquarium, and it's not just their aquariums. You can see we walk in here, we got Boris, the red-collared lorikeet, which is quite a little character. Such a beautiful bird. He's a Australian native, and a really cool thing to see inside the store. And you'll also notice that dogs are welcome in store as well. So these are the kind of stores that you can take your family out and you can pick up some supplies for all of your pets, whether they be fish, cats, dogs, birds, rabbits, you name it, whatever, they've got it. And here's one of the store dogs come up to say hi. Of course, while I'm filming, there's his mate too. So yeah, a couple of cool dogs. But let's check out some of the stock here. You can see when you pan around, it's a huge store. And this, if I recall correctly, is not the biggest. This is just sort of a mid-range store, and it's massive. So I'm not going to take you through all of the pet items, obviously. We're a reef channel, but one thing I do want to quickly show you here is these little Insectimo little enclosures. Really cool little pop-up insect pods, which you can put something like stick insects or something like that in there. Pretty innovative little things. And you see you've got a full range of the reptile accessories and hardware and things like that you need. These little fresh fish tank TV tanks featured in each of the stores, and they're really nifty. I can see these getting kids into aquarium keeping, so cool to see them there. We'll cover a little bit more of the features of those in another video. And we can see a nice little assortment here of aquariums, showing you the price as it is ready to take off the shelf there with all the accessories and everything. A nice way to show people what they're up for without sort of trying to tack on extra things at the counter. So we're walking through some of the shelves here. You can see a great range of products. This one here is fairly reef dominated. We've got the Ocean Wonders range of fragging gear, including their frag racks, whether they be egg crate ones or rock ones. You can see the Reef Revolution full range there. Just below that, we've got the Aqua Forest reefing range. So we've got some foods there. We've got some probiotics, carbons, life biofill. You see some quantum gear over to the left there. As we pan down here, we see a good assortment of APIs, CChem, some medications. We've got New Life Spectrum Foods. Up here, we've got a nice little freshwater display with one thing I wanted to point out here was the afterpay, which is a big question because aquariums are a big purchase, and knowing you can afterpay them helps a lot. We've got these nice little glass cabinets which feature in each of the PetQuarters stores, showing some of the premium equipment. And just a quick little pan across here at the hydro baths and dog groomings, which you can do in store. So imagine taking your dog in for a bath and a haircut, and you get to have a look at some corals and fish while you're there. So coming down here, we've got a bit more hardware. We've got some skimmers, pumps, top-offs. We've got some MaxSpect bio blocks. We've got some medications there, including things like Fauna Marine, Dino. You've got coral dips. You've got Coral Essentials range there. We've got some resins. We've got the Quantum range of supplements, both their macros and minors. When we come down here, we've got some Aqua One Accessories, gravel cleaners, pumps, tanks, nets. Over here, we've got this really neat dry rock display, and you can see different brands, different styles of rock here. Nice little way just to get your creative juices flowing and how you're going to escape this tank. Gives you a good opportunity to have a look rather than digging through boxes of pieces. You can see them all there. Little pan across at the counter, you can see, these are big stores. They're not a pokey little aquarium. They're a big store, and we're going to just have a bit more of a look here now at some of the actual livestock itself. So we can see some beautiful little guppy tanks here. And again, I know we're not a freshwater channel, but the freshwater fish here are done really nicely. So what do we got? Coloured widow tetras here. There you go. And a little sign there saying that you can actually dye fish, which is interesting. We got some, I don't know anything about that, but I'll take the store's advice on that. We got these neat little setups in the middle of the store with the cords going all the way up to the roof. So they just keep this really nice cord-free, easy to access displays. These ones are quartered off, so you can see we've essentially got 4 individual tanks, but they're all sharing common water. And it's just a really inviting way. People can walk all the way around the tank. It doesn't have to be backed up against a wall. And you've got a similar style here for all the freshwater plants. And I do love the way these tanks get this crystal surface, so you can look down at the colours of those plants. There's a couple of little fish in there, just keeping some organics going in there. We've got some tank display there, dry tank displays, different sizes. It's one thing these guys do really well. They've got a huge range of different tanks. We've got a massive assortment here of Red Sea salts of both their standard and pros in different size buckets. And then we got these betta displays here. And one thing that's really nice to see is the betas in PetQuarters get these large tanks each. They're not sitting in cups, so they're very well cared for. Okay, so now we've got the coral tank, and I'm just going to pop the filter on so we can get a better look. All right, so let's have a look at the stock that's in hand on any given day at PetQuarters. And you can see the tank's lit by these AI, what are they? They're not hydras when they've got the 4 bulbs, but it's some serious LED lighting above it nonetheless. We've got a cool a couple of Tangs in there. We've got a magnificent fox face, or he's a Fiji fox face, sorry. Oh, geez, I'm getting a bit slack in my game at the moment here. You can see an incredible assortment of LPS here. Some beautiful Trachophilia, Scollies, some ultra-modelled hammers. You can see some acans, some fungias. In fact, a good assortment of acans. Some pretty serious corals here. Like I said, this is not your general run-of-the-mill pet store. This is a serious marine shop within a pet store. And the stock here, if you've heard of Salty Pets in Australia, they supply the PetQuarters stores, and you can tell when you look at the stock, the guys get some absolutely amazing stuff. And that wasn't the end of the marine section. Obviously, we've got some foods up the back there. We got this display tank here. That one's there set up ready to sell. But this store that's just been moved, this tank that's just been moved in store has some more incredible LPS. Check out that Deshi. There's another one in there, and there's a 2-tone hammer there, which has got different coloured heads on the same piece, and one head that actually splits down the middle. We've got that second incredible Deshi there. There's actually a couple of nice mini maxis in there. There's this, if I zoom down a little bit, we'll see this incredible little button scully here with just some of the wildest colours I've ever seen. Red, gold, blue, green, all through the one button scully, which is really cool to see. This section's where the store's expanding out to show that they've got even more marine stuff on hand. So the idea of that tank is that you can sit there and enjoy that while your dog's getting groomed. And you can see some more dogs coming in. So we'll just check out the fish while we're here. And full disclosure, the team were just unpacking some fish ready for the weekend. Obviously, we had a few extra people in town for our Fragstock, so the team were about to stock right up. And we were there first thing Friday morning. So there's quite a few fish about to go in the bag, and you can see them all there eagerly awaiting their new homes. In fact, that guy wanted to spit some water at me. But we may as well check out the rest of the stock that's on hand, and you can see this beautiful sea apple in there amongst some cool clowns. We've got a beautiful wrasse in there as well, a fairy wrasse. A couple more guys there waiting to come unbagged. And a good assortment of, we've got some bubble tips and some cleanup crew with some snails as well. We've got a nice assortment of white-tailed damsels there. We come across here, we got a couple of skunk clowns there, which are cool. What else have we got in the next bay? Beautiful sailfin. Man, I love the way they always flare up for the camera. It's cool to see. We've got some cool wrasse there. You can see a nice blue tang. So many fish about to get unbagged. See some platinum clownfish there, a bicolour angel. Looks like we've got a couple of gobies about to go in there. We've got a rock wrasse there, or a dragon wrasse, I think people call them. You see a long-nosed hawkfish, another sailfin there. Sailfin's beautiful fish, and I don't know how I've managed to get this far without having one, but check out that beast of a wrasse. Wow, I don't even know what kind of wrasse he is, but he looks aggressive. Let's have a look. Queen Chorus wrasse at $149 Australian. Seems like a cheap buy to me. We got some black and white clowns there. Let's see what else we can find. Looks like we got some... what do we got? A dotty back in there, another wrasse. We got a cleaner wrasse, is it? A rainbow wrasse. Okay, yeah, he's an interesting looking little dude. I don't know enough about wrasse, and there's so many varieties out there, it's hard to keep up with them, but there's some really cool wrasse. All right, let's have a look at some of the freshwater fish. Looks like mollies there. Someone will tell me otherwise, but they look like mollies. We've got some platies down here. I think they're more mollies, and it's going to pan through pretty quickly so I don't embarrass myself. What do we got in here? Yeah, all sorts of lovely freshwater fish. But there's discus, I know them. And you can see some nice little handy advice there for people shopping in store so they can know what sort of things to look for. Nice little juvenile discus there as well, which is cool to see. And yeah, you can see a good assortment of freshwater fish as well as marine fish. Oh, and everyone's favourite goldfish, of course. I don't know what are they called? Orange. I'm not sure what the name is for the big bobblehead ones, but people always love the bobblehead ones. And check out these guys, feisty as anything. All right, that pretty well wraps up the aquarium section. As you can see, it's not a little token aquarium section in a pet store. It is effectively an aquarium right next door to a pet store, which just, in fact, we're just seeing here, they've got a beautiful water testing bench and a little plug for Fragstock Newcastle. PetQuarters are serious about their aquariums, and they're serious about marine aquariums. You see all the testing gear there. So if you're in the area, be sure to jump in and check out the store because they are supplied with some of the best corals in the world from Salty Pets, and they've got a huge range for all of your pet needs. Alright guys, that's about it for today's episode. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any future episodes where I cover some other PetQuarters stores, and of course I'll be proudly representing my Newcastle Knights retro jersey, sponsored by the one and only chicken shop that is Henny Penny. You may not know, but Newcastle were recently put on the map with the world's first drive-through only KFC, and there'll be some news articles up here. So you can see by the sponsorship of Henny Penny that chicken runs deep in their veins. But if you have any questions for myself or the PetQuarters crew, be sure to pop it in the comments section down below. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Till next time guys, thanks for watching. Happy reefing.